beats going for.
You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Welcome, everybody. You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast, home of original people, peace, prosperity, reciprocity, and positive frames of reference about original people and original culture. I am your host, Halsey Allen. Welcome all my narrators. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. Welcome all my new people, newly listening right now. I'm live this Thursday. So yeah, we here. Just got over the hump. Yesterday was Wednesday, hump day. So we're getting in gear. About to do the weekend thing. But yeah, every single weekend, you can expect to hear from me on the Narrative Podcast. That's when I do my full broadcast. Right now, I'm doing a random live during the week. I never know what days. So my narrators already know the score. So for new people, when I go live on my own platform, I usually just share articles and deliver commentary about anything currently going on in the news. So the reason why I do the articles is the positive frame of to deliver positive frames of reference about original people and original culture. So back up a bit. Today just has not really been a good day for your boy. Everything that could go wrong today did go wrong today. Like everything was against me today. But, I'm here. I'm well. And, I am a narrator. So we all good. So I'm going to just explain my platform take this brief time to explain my platform to people newly tuning in that's not familiar with my content. So taking it from the top, starting at the name, Narrative. I call my podcast The Narrative because I believe the media weaves a false narrative about original people and original culture. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to create a platform where I just wanted to, reverse what they're doing. And what they're doing is, perpetuating negative stereotypes within our community, focusing their lens on all the negative nuances that we have within our culture. So, what I want to do is want to create a platform where I'm highlighting and showcasing us at our best instead of at our worst. And, just celebrate, everything that's us and speak positively and just really promote our people. So yeah, that's just basically the tip of the iceberg. What my platform is about. What I don't do is gossip, slander, denigrate. In this space, what I'm trying to do is uplift and edify our people. For just like I said, to combat, the negative narrative, the false narrative they keep on weaving about original people and original culture. Now, the reason why they're doing it is for money, of course, but also, the psycho-Semitic effect of, this propaganda that they keep on slinging about original people and original culture. Is basically just psychological warfare at its best. This is like, they bombard us with all this negativity, and we're trying to program and condition us to, see ourselves as something that we're not, and basically trying to devalue us as a people, not to just to ourselves, but to everybody outside our culture as well. So that's what I want to do on my platform, is just to showcase and highlight who we are as a people, and just counterbalance all this negative, um, all these negative things that they just say about us, and try to make us appear in a certain way. The ultimate takeaway I want people to get from my podcast, my content, is to realize the importance of sharing positive content online. That's why I call all my listeners my narrators. Uh, we all are content creators to some capacity. Um, basically, we're living in a digital age, and whatever you post online is a direct reflection of you, all your ideals, your belief systems, your values, how you was raised. People, take that into consideration about anything you post online. So you got to be mindful of what you're posting online, how you want to present yourself to the world. So having said that, as a people, like if we're always sharing gang culture, if we're always sharing gun culture, violence culture, thought culture, just basically all this stereotypical stuff about our culture, what is the rest of the world going to think about that? How do they view us based on the frames of reference that they're giving, right? That's like they never been around original people. They've never been around original culture. All they know of us is just what's presented to them in movies, in the music, in literature. That's all they got is negative frames of reference about our people and our culture. So, posting positive content on your platforms isn't like the definitive answer to enlighten people, but it is definitely an answer. So it's not the end all be all solution, but it's definitely a solution to tell the real about us, and to get accurate representation of us, because the media intentionally misrepresents us at every turn. And I already told you the reasons why. So, it's up to all of us to share positive content. So now that you got a basic gist of my platform, I get underway. I just want to wrap one more thing up. So I noticed you noticed that I keep saying original. On my platform, I choose to refer to our people as the original instead of black. Now, in early civilization, of course, the word black meant something positive, but dirty, filthy colonizers, the way they recorded it, they made the word black mean something, dirty and foul. And you can go to any dictionary, any thesaurus, and look up the word black, and you will see all these negative, you know, nouns, pronouns, adjectives, and example sentences describing the word black. How to properly use the word black, um, what it symbolizes, and what's the significance of it. You know, uh, so basically, before you get to all that, in the dictionary, they go out of their way to denote origin. So they'll start off by saying something to the effect, people or indigenous people, um, you know, originating or descending from Africa. And then, then here they come with the messiness. They use words like, black, dirty, desolate, gloomy, depressed, and then example sentences. It was a black day, the black sky, black also the way how they got it written in modern English is the end of all things, is the, symbolizes death and chaos and illness. That's what it's linked to. Like the only positive thing, black, they can say about black is like all other colors is derived from black. Black is the dominant gene, but other than that, how they got it set up in the English language, it just means something really foul and really dirty. And I also believe in the power of words. So, they programmed us and conditioned us to, believe black is something bad. And if you take and look at our people as a whole, here in the U.S. and here and abroad, our situation as a whole, you will see every time we're saying the word black, we're kind of speaking something negative over ourselves. Even though, back in the day, like in early civilizations, in ancient tribes from Africa, black means something good, opulence, excellence, ruler, king, all that good stuff in the original native tongue. But like I said, these filthy colonizers defiled it and turned it into something negative, and now our subconscious locks onto that and makes it their reality, what they set out to have that word mean for our people. So on my platform, I refer to us as original. When you look in the dictionary, original only means something positive, something good. Original means the first. And we were and are the first human beings on this planet. We were the original rulers. We were the original teachers. We were the original philosophers. We were the original scientists. We were the original, mathematicians. We were the original inventors, the original builders, the original alchemists. And I can just go on and on and on and on and on. So, that's why I refer to our people as original as opposed to black. So it's not a self-hate thing, it's a self-awareness thing. And I do know that it once meant something good, but, the powers that be has turned that word against us and defiled it, and now they got it to mean something, bad. So to combat that, on my platform, I just refer to ourselves as original. Okay, so like I said, this is a Narrator Podcast live edition. And what I do here on my live editions, I share articles that I came across in my feed in an effort to, share positive frames of reference about original people and original culture, us, original people, aka black people, just to dispel all this propaganda about us and to edify, inspire, and motivate as well. That's the purpose of me sharing the articles. So I'm going to deliver some commentary preceding the articles, but I'm also, before I get to the commentary, I'm going to give a brief rundown of my normal format for any and all new listeners that's unfamiliar with my platform, what they will have to look forward to on a full broadcast day of the Narrative Podcast. And then I deliver some commentary about something going on in the media right now. or something that already kind of happened. But I want to give my perspective on that. And the reason why I do commentary is basically, to unpack it from our perspective, because when it unveils in the media, it'll have us looking and sounding crazy. So when I deliver commentary on anything, that's me trying to control the narrative. Um, but before I get to the articles, in commemoration of Black History Month, I'm going to do a Black History fact. Again, so on my platform, I refer to us as original men and women as often as possible. I insert the word original as often as possible in replacement of the word black. But, in instances like this, I'm not going to say Original History Month. I'm not going to try to just force it, but I'm going to try to insert it, where I can to make it, flow more naturally and sound more naturally. But, for all intensive purposes, Black History Month, and I got a Black History fact. So today's Black History fact is about the father of Russian literature. Did you know the father of Russian literature was a black man? It was a black man named by the name of Alexander Pushkin. He was born in 1799. His grandfather was named Abraham, and he was an African slave. In addition to being a great writer, he was also a general to the Peter the Great. What he's most famous for as a writer is his style of poetry. Like he got the most extensive branches of poetry. Like he uses like all forms. It's mostly about romance and drama. So in addition to poetry, he also is famous for writing essays and novels. Oh, and short stories. So there you have it. The father of Russian literature, one Mr. Alexander Pushkin, if I'm pronouncing the brother's name right, but you can look it up yourself. I want to share that. I know last week I said I was going to try to share lesser known, Black history facts about, how dirty we got done, things people just kind of glaze over. They don't really teach us in school. But I came across that nugget, and I actually never heard of him myself, but I write poetry, so that was interesting to me, so I wanted to share it. All right, now diving into the content. First article reads, the headline reads, a strip mall with an all-black woman-owned brand just opened in Washington, D.C. And if you've been listening, you're probably going to want to know why I decided to share this article. Because I am just, I love a good play on words, and this is a very, very good, clever play on words. The mall is called Black and Forth Mall. And the proprietor is, a serial entrepreneur by the name of Mrs. Angel Gregorio. If I'm pronouncing the sister's name correctly, Gregorio, Gregorio. So its address is 2201 Shannon Street, Northeast. I didn't write the whole address down, y'all. My bad, but y'all can look it up. It's in Washington D.C. and her name might seem familiar to you um, because she's also gone viral as an entrepreneur. She sells spices, and see, this is something that I talk about all the time on my platform about this me and my mentality. This sister shared her me and my mentality for the greater good. Because initially, what she could have done is just occupy just a space for her business, but instead she bought up all the spaces in the mall, the free open spaces, and created an initiative for other female entrepreneurs to get in on that action to get to occupy themselves a brick and mortar space. So she had the foresight to, take herself out of the equation and, like build a door for the greater good. And that's what we have to do when it comes to this liberation thing. While we are due, reparations, we have to do for self. We have to do for self, but we must also support one another. And so this story is this sister going above and beyond for the greater good and supporting other original women. So, kudos to her. I hope she expands that concept nationwide. It's in DC now, so so I'm trying to get hope out of my vocabulary. So if you're familiar with Bubba Dick Gregory's speech on hope, you understand why I'm trying to get that out of my vocabulary. But I anticipate that she'll go nationwide. We'll see a mall like that in every state in the United States, and maybe go global with it. If anybody needs their own safe space, it's our sisters. I'm tired of logging in or pulling out my device, seeing our sisters getting done dirty at these, foreign spots, at these nail salons, at these places where they like to, have themselves looking beautiful and looking right, going to buy their hair, getting their hair done, and getting done dirty. So they definitely need their own space for them, exclusively for them, by them, to cater to their needs, and that's very good. So, fellas, now we need to step up. So, and follow their lead, because we need our own space too. You know. But anyway, give a warm narrative podcast round of applause for our sister Angela Gregorio. I hope I'm not butchering her name, but yeah, and the Black and Forth Mall. All right, next article headline reads, Black family closes 7-figure real estate deal in an effort to recreate the modern day Black Wall Street in Mississippi. The proprietor's name is Tony another unique name, Remanique Jr., plus his wife and 3 adult male children. They all pulled their resources and they bought out a strip mall in Oak Grove community of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Like the article, the headline read, that was inspired, they wanted to recreate the Tulsa, Oklahoma experience locally. So they're planning to, they say they want to be entrepreneurs. They're planning to go nationwide with it. So they're planning to have, one in every state in the United States, and I think that's great. I just know they will because the intent is there and the drive and the ambition is there that they pulled their resources, they saw a need, they created, an answer for the need. And so that's something we should all be doing, looking for like-minded people and pulling our resources and making it happen. So I want to share that story to, give you the positive frame of reference about generational wealth, because this is a family. So, with the success of this business, they can pass it down to their children and their children's children. And not only that, if it's really successful, it'll be here for future generations of patrons. So, not just their family, it's for the greater good. So, definitely no me and mine mentality there. All right. Next article headline reads, Black student without legs makes school basketball team. And the young brother's name is Josie Johnson. He's an 8th grader in Louisville, Kentucky. They didn't name the school in the article. He was born without legs. He tried out for the basketball team and made it. So it was really short and really brief. It didn't have any intricate details like how many times did he try out for the basketball team or anything like that. But definitely noteworthy. I want to share that to just showcase, it's never too late, not to give up on your dreams. If you really want something, go get it. No matter what your current situation is, it doesn't dictate the overall outcome if you really, really want it. So that young man really wanted it. He's quite good. They don't give him any special treatment because of his disability. He earned his spot. They wasn't throwing him a pity party. He really hustles that ball, got skills, got really good handles. Very inspirational and motivational. So, no excuses. No excuses. If you want it, go get it. All right. Next, article, the headline reads, Entrepreneur launches first ever Black-owned social media networking app in the metaverse. So the young brother's name is Matthew Newman. And his invention is called Truso. And it's spelled Truso, not True. So I just wanted to make sure you knew, so you can look it up. And it's available. He plans to make it available in 2D and in 3D. So this is like the metaverse space. Now, I don't know too much about the metaverse. A whole bunch of people say it's like a waste of time. It'll take years and years and years for you to see any real tangibles or assets. People say that, but yet and still there's millionaires and billionaires that acquired their vast fortune, just in the short, brief, time that the metaverse has been around, have amassed tons of money with the technology that's not really promising. So a whole bunch of people say the metaverse ain't worth it, but like explain like how all these people got rich off the metaverse if it's not really worth it. So, but I don't know. If nothing else, I would say download it to help you like understand the metaverse because we're living in the future, and you know you have to study this technology. Like you have to be versed in everything they come out with, so you don't get left behind. Like you have to be proficient or at least be in the know when it comes to coding. You have to be, proficient or at least be in the know when it comes to robotics. You have to be proficient or at least in the know when it comes to, programming. At least like have just the base buzz phrases if nothing else. But, you definitely need to know about the metaverse. Well, that's it and that's all, y'all, for the articles. Um, yeah, it was just super brief. Another goal for my podcast, I try not to exceed 1 hour um, during the broadcast. And the reason to do that, I want to engage the audience. I want the content to resonate with you. And I don't believe I can keep you captivated if I'm just droning on and on and on without a clear speaking, with a clear starting point and a clear stopping point. And I think that's the perfect segue into me breaking down my format for my full broadcast day of the Narrator podcast. So when I start podcasting, I didn't really have a clear, vision. I knew I wanted to do something. I knew I wanted to talk about something. And when I first started, I hit the record button and I would just be going in. I didn't have like a clear starting point, a clear stopping point. I didn't have any theme music. I was just talking and talking and talking. So I wanted to accomplish a goal. So what I was doing, I was monitoring my broadcast. I was like giving myself feedback and trying to think of ways to improve my content because I knew what I wanted my podcast to be about, but it just wasn't like resonating. So I just had a stroke of genius, like, well, let me break up the content, let me break up the monotony, so I'm just not droning on and on and on, and keeping myself like laser focused and hitting my speaking point, saying what I want to say, and articulating it, the way I want to articulate my points. And sure enough, the strategy worked because no sooner than I broke it down into sections, people started listening. I started seeing my stats go up. And then I said, well, let me think of something else. Like I started timing my episodes because, nobody wants to sit up here and listen to somebody just talk for hours and hours and hours. Like there are exceptions, like in the intellectual community, or as we call it, the conscious community. If you have a really good speaker, very proficient with the knowledge, you do want to hear people like that talk. Like people like that can't talk enough. But for like a person like me, a novice to podcasting, it's just like get to the point, say what you got to say, and be clear and concise as possible. And, that's the whole nature of me breaking it down into sections. So on my normal broadcast today, I have it broken down into sections, and each section has a speaking point. And it's all conveniently packaged to be no longer than 1 hour. Sometimes I go a little over, but it's not by much. It's probably like 10 or 20 minutes over my hour mark. So I'll just run through my format for you and then dive into the commentary and leave you to the rest of your evening. All right, so starting off, my very first section, should you, well, I know you're going to tune in and listen to my podcast this weekend because you wouldn't be here. You can be anywhere in the world tonight, but you're rocking with me. It wasn't an accident. Nothing in this world is an accident. Yeah, I be putting out the vibes. But anyway, so my very first section is called the promo section. In the promo section, what I'm doing is I'm opening the door for any original people that own or operate their own businesses to reach out to me and get some free promotion for their business. And it's my great anticipation that the people that reach out to me are, entrepreneurs that give back to the community and, help people do some type of outreach in the community to some small capacity to help bring about change, where they're rooted at, whether it's, with their own nonprofit organization or paying into a nonprofit organization or, donating their goods and services to the community. So, yeah, that's the promotional section. And my philosophy behind that as well is to, do my part to help circulate the original people dollar and the original people community, and I do not charge for it for doing doing a free drop on my platform. That's my motivation right there is to get you the business so you can hire your own and give back to the community. All right. Second section. Second section is called the contest section. And in this section, what I'm doing is I'm hosting a contest exclusively for my podcast, the Narrator podcast. I'm giving away a bulk supply of your favorite snack just by participating in the content or the contest topic. And the contest topic is share your most recent shopping while black experience. And basically, like what the contest section is basically incentive. It's incentive for the people that support me since day one to keep on supporting me to help me grow my platform, and then also incentive for new listeners so they can tune into my platform and have something to look forward to. Because as my platform grows, I'm going to be attracting sponsors. I'll be able to give away more cooler things than just a snack. So, help me help you. Tune into my podcast regularly, download all episodes, and so the platform can keep growing. So I do intend to transition over into video, but for right now, this is a good little space I'm in. I'm accomplishing a lot in this little audio space. Gotta get my bed. Never. Little parts, just a second. I don't know why I didn't just sit it by me. That's that gas. Good old mango. But anyway, so what I was saying, the contest is just basically an incentive for the listeners to continue listening, to continue supporting. And to enter the contest is 110% free. I'm not charging anything. It's just an open invite to come in and, keep supporting, keep listening, and you will get a free prize. The entry, you can go on my last full episode of the Narrator podcast. I believe it was episode 176 to get the full details on how to enter the Chew on This contest. All right, now on to my first section, my first actual real section. The basic head of my content is the highlight section. In the highlight section, what I'm doing is providing positive frames of reference about entrepreneurialism, and I do this by highlighting businesses owned and operating by original men and original women. So the types of business owners that I highlight is just basically like regular people like you and I, working 9-to-5 jobs. They didn't want to do it anymore. They didn't have like a lot of money to start their business. They didn't have a lot of resources. They didn't have a lot of expertise or background in whatever type of business that they started. Or if they did have an extensive educational background, it didn't necessarily line up with the business or product that they're currently selling. So, they just stepped out on faith. Found a way to make it work, and they made it work. So, that's what I want to highlight in the highlight section to, counteract, this negativity that we're shown, because they're always showing us, disenfranchised, dependent on the government, or stuck in a go nowhere job. So in this section, what you'll see is just people that sat down and figured it out, and pursued something that they was passionate about, and now they get to spend the rest of their life doing something that they love, and also giving back to the community. Because like the qualifications I look to highlight a business is like, do they give back to the community? Like they pay into they have their own nonprofit organization, or they pay into a nonprofit organization, or they donate, their goods and services to the community. That they do some type of outreach. Those are the type of businesses that I highlight in the highlight section. So they hire their own. They're involved in some type of, community outreach as well. And then the last qualifying thing in the highlight section is that they line up with my current theme, and my current theme is the season of winter / the new year, because it's January. Won't be January too much longer. So this probably be the last week of that particular theme. So this would be probably like the last week of this next episode coming up. Would be the last of winter businesses or the new year, because typically I think I already went over it. It's not really the new year. Like spring is actually the real new year, but for all intents and purposes, for here in America and abroad, because they done just really showed us that the new year starts in January. But anyway, for all intents and purposes, this next broadcast would be my last week for, winter / the new year. So like all the businesses that I'll be highlighting, you would think the first thing that comes to your mind is either winter or New Year's. So yeah. All right, so that's the highlight section. Now on to the next section, the spotlight section. In the spotlight section, what I do is I'm spotlighting a prominent figure within our community. It's usually in the entertainment industry. It's usually, actor, actress, uh, recording artist, comedian, athlete, writer, producer, public figure, online public figure, just basically anybody in the eye of the public that's using their platform to impact our people in a positive way. I've also highlighted religious figures as well, religious leaders as well. But basically, people down for the liberation movement, using their platform, using their voice to speak on the cause, or using their resources to help with the cause, like, providing financial literacy, donating to like schools, some type of charity, some type of social justice, some type of political justice, um, ecological something, giving back to some capacity. Those are the types of people that I highlight in the highlight section. Above and beyond over that is like I try to look for people that's unapologetic about speaking on our condition, on any platform that they're on. So basically, I'm giving them their roses while they're here. In the spotlight section, bigging them up for all they do and appreciating, all they bring to the table and how they make us look as a people in a good way. So, yeah, spotlight section, and I gotta say it, and I'm gonna keep on saying it till it keeps not being true. Um, I started the way for spotlighting because before I added the spotlight section to my podcast, the Narrative Podcast, nobody, nobody, anywhere on any platform was highlighting anything. But when I added the highlight section to my podcast, the Narrative Podcast, now every time you pull out a device, every time you log on, it's today spotlight is on so and so. Spotlight this, spotlight that. I started to wait for that. I'm not mad. I'm not really looking for a pat on the back. The reason why I did it is to create the healthy habit for us as a people to say something nice about your brother or your sister instead of always, combating each other online, always slandering each other online, always dragging each other online, always airing the dirty laundry out online. So, that was me trying to create the healthy, and because it's like everybody's doing it now, creating the healthy habit of, positive self-talk, like just saying something positive about your brother and sister instead of something negative all the time. Because we are the only people to do that. Like, we get online and take cheap shots and jabs at each other. And for what? To impress people we can't even see. Like, we don't even know all the people in the comment section. Like, why are we like taking jabs at each other online? I never understand it. Like, just like there's a way to go to somebody in Hollywood. I know there's a way to get a hold of somebody like that you got agreements with and meet up and talk about it. Or if you don't want to talk, you can do something else. And I hope it's something. Well, long as it's something else don't like involve shooting or like stabbing. Like, but like if there's something else is like fighting, then hey, sometimes you got to get it out of your system. Spoiler alert. That's going to be my commentary. But anyway, yeah. So I started the waves for spotlighting because, like I said, nobody online was spotlighting anyone until I added a spotlight section to my podcast. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.
Please believe it in a real way. All right. So after the spotlight section, I transitioned into the health and wellness section. In the health and wellness section, basically, I'm just promoting total body wellness. Basically, giving tips to, ensure like a prosperous life, mentally, spiritually, and physically. So those are the types of things that I, promote to stay well in all those areas. And I just give little factoids to, help keep you healthy, active, and fit, so that you will live longer and live better and feel good about how you're living. So the reason why I'm doing that is because, again, to combat the powers that be, because they're always bombarding us with all this negativity, and when all that comes around you, all you see is negativity about your people that kind of, does something to your subconscious. And your subconscious is linked to your immune system. So all that negativity weakens your immune system. So I'm just like telling you how to stay healthy, active, and fit, how to keep your immune system fortified, ways to just feel good. And not only that, they're also putting in things in our food, in our water, in our air, in our daily products that we use every single day, in our home, on our bodies, that negatively affect our health. And by our, I mean original men, original women. They got chemicals, specifically designed to break down our unique molecular structure. Like, it's not a conspiracy, it's a reality. If you think like, I don't know, you need a big tall glass of wake up if you ain't really seeing the linkage to all these things just taking people out. 30 years old, just dying for nothing. In their 20s, like they went upstairs and never came back downstairs. They dead. But anyway, so the types of things you will be hearing in the health and wellness section, like, for vitality, if it's something that you can eat to keep you healthy, active, and fit, it might be something along the lines of, the health benefits of a fruit, vegetable, herb, extract, elixir, something that you ingest to improve your vitality. Or a physical exercise you can perform to help you, sustain your physical status, help keep your lung capacity up, keep the blood flowing, and, your mental, like, stuff, you know. Also, talk mental wellness, mental health on here, like, you know, just ways to improve your mental health, such as like incorporating mindful breathing, meditation, you know, because again, our mind gets bombarded with so much negativity. You must stay positive. You know, that's why they call most all illnesses diseases. Because the sickness, inflammation, or whatever doesn't take root until your mind is at dis-ease. So, you know, diet is a big part of it, but so is, you know, what you're putting into your mind as well. Your literature, what are you reading? What are you watching? As well as as they say, religious people, in your spirit. You know, what are you taking into it? So I also talk about, like, you know, mindful breathing, meditation, praying. Um, Also talk about like metaphysical things as well in the health and wellness section. So basically, all I'm doing in the health and wellness section is promoting total body wellness. So you will be hearing total body wellness tips in the health and wellness section. Then after the health and wellness section, I come to my speaking point of the day. And my speaking point of the day basically is, you know, what I feel about current events, perspective. And what in that section, what I'm doing, again, I'm trying to control the narrative because the media have us looking and sounding crazy. So I'm unpacking it from our perspective, you know, as we see it as original men and original women, whether it's something like directly in our community or something globally that may trickle down and affect us. So I unpack it from our perspective. In the event that I don't have any current, you know, current affairs to talk about, current recent news to talk about, I might just make an observation about us as a people. And by saying us, I mean myself as well, something I need to work on as a people, you know. But that's the speaking point of the day. And then I close out with my final thought of the day. And my final thought of the day is just something, you know, profound, something really wise, something really deep, a gem, a pearl of knowledge, wisdom, you know, something insightful, something impactful, something that will promote critical thinking. I'm like, wow, that was deep, you know what I mean? So that's what you would get in my final thought of the day. And then I close out, plug whatever I got going on, and leave y'all to the rest of y'all's day. So there you have it. That's the complete narrative podcast experience. This is a random live edition. So I've already covered most of my content. So let's get into it. Commentary. There's been a whole lot happening this week. But I'm only going to comment on something. One of them. I'll probably say the other thing for this weekend. So the big thing that I want to talk about was the Shannon Sharp incident. So, like I said, I don't slander people. I don't gossip. I just tell how TI is. And so what we saw was kind of a mixture of things. So first and foremost, I'm gonna say, I try not to say this word, but when it applies, it applies. Like if you ever watch the Boondocks, the animated cartoon, the Boondocks, what we saw where all these memes floating around, it was, we all done had them. It was a nigga moment. Shay Shay don't play. He was caught up in the nigga moment. Like it went down, you know. Somebody approached him with some malice, had some words for him. He didn't like the words they had for him. And then he said, now you done said your piece, now, what next? And they proceeded to walk towards him and like he wasn't having none of it. So like boom bam, that's really it and that's all really. But in addition to the N-word moment, it was also, a man thing. It was a whole lot of testosterone. Like we're so used to not seeing manhood anymore, we just don't understand some man-ish when we see it. Ladies, that's how we deal with it. Like as fellas, we slug it out. It don't matter if it's if the man is an original man, an Asian man, a Caucasian man, that was some man-ish. Like that's how we do it. Now, was it emotionally intelligent? No. Was there a better way to handle that? Yes. But nobody's perfect, and that's one of them situations where you don't know how you're going to react until it happens to you. This is why you must always, always, always meditate. Gotta meditate when you wake up, when you go to sleep, for when situations like this occur. Your higher form already took over and you already know what to do. Like in ultra rare cases, somebody will push the button and will not present you with the walk away option. And then you're going to have to do what you got to do if they take the walk away from it option or off the table. You got to defend yourself. Or you can stand there and get pummeled into a bloody pulp. Or you can run if you like running. But this is why mindful breathing and meditation and praying, all that is key for instances like that. But like I said, it was a man moment. It was a male testosterone thing. And I don't like how the media kind of spin it, with that dirty little lens to make it look like, oh, look at them niggas again. There they go, that nigga-ish. I don't like that. I didn't like that. My only thing that I critique Brother Sharp, Mr. Sharp, is like, the way he handled it, turning to social media, talking about the incident on social media. That was, big bro, that was a no-go. What's understood ain't got to be explained. You don't got to go to social media and explain nothing. Like the moment happened, there ain't no reason to be like, this person didn't want nothing to smoke. That person, like the moment's over. Like, no need to go on Twitter. No need to go on Twitter or Instagram or wherever. The positive thing that they're not talking about is they pieced it out. They dapped it up. They hugged it out, and handled it like grown men. That's grown men. They had a little emotional flare up, They stuck their chest out, like on some real alpha male type ish. There was an male moment. And we live in a society where we shun masculinity. We say masculinity is toxic. That's what masculinity looks like. Somebody crossed the line. A line was clearly crossed, and like neither side was backing down until somebody intervened. And kudos to the person to intervene, because we don't do that enough in our community. We talk about always, you need to mind your business. You need to get the hell out, mind your own business. So if that person didn't intervene, we would have seen fisticuffs because somebody jumped in the middle of them. So just think of all the people that don't intervene when our young people kill each other over nothing. And it's usually when you dissect it, it's over something that could have been de-escalated if somebody was in the middle to intervene. Domestic violence, losing our sisters to domestic violence because we want to mind our own business. Her man done got too carried away. He done like mopped her, millywhopped her. He done went beyond smacking her. Now he punching her and kicking her, stomping on her. 200-300 pounds, he's stomping on her. And, goes too far. But we want to mind our own business. Our children, we see a suspicious car just sitting in front of a school. We don't want to say to that person, like, hey, what you doing up here? Who are you? But then the next morning, like 4 or 5 of our children then got abducted because we don't, we minding our own business. Now, there is a difference between being concerned and being nosy. Being concerned and nosy ain't the same thing. And we, in our community now, think it is the same thing. No, it's not. Now, if a couple's arguing and then you intervene, then you are being nosy because they're in a relationship, they're arguing. It ain't nothing, and it hasn't gotten physical. They're just hurling insults at each other. You'll know when to intervene. You'll know when to intervene when some intervention is necessary. We need to intervene more often in our community, like we make fun of Caucasian people because they some intervening mofos, but their gated communities kind of stay safe because they intervene. But on that Shannon Sharp debacle, it was just basically like male ego, male pride, testosterone, slash a nigga moment. It wasn't, as the young people say, real rap. It wasn't nothing like so big a deal that everybody was trying to make it on social media to make it, seem super duper negative, and there was nothing super duper negative about it. It was just a male flare up. But like I said, we live in a society of where we're taught that masculinity is toxic. But it was just some masculine energy flowing back and forth. They pieced it out. It's all good now. On to the next thing. Nothing to see here. They really try to just maximize a minimum moment just to sell news. Like the memes was going all viral all over the internet, like not even a whole 24 hours after it happened. It was like 12 or 14 hours after it happened. Like, that's crazy with that meme stuff. Well, anyway, that's all I got for today. Thank you all for listening. Um, so tune in this weekend to enjoy a full broadcast day of